Hello, this is RV Vagabond Jerry, and in this video I'm going to show you a gadget that I recently bought for the purpose of testing to see how pure the water is that you drink. And that is a concern for, I think, pretty much all RVers. Some RVers won't drink water other than bottled water from the store. And then some RVers are happy just drinking water from a hose anywhere. And then some RVers fill up their freshwater tank from RV parks, campgrounds mostly, which is what I do. But I filter my water pretty heavily. The water that I drink goes through 4 different water filters before it gets to my faucet that I take it from. I try to avoid buying much bottled water for 2 reasons. One, because bottled water costs a lot more than gasoline. And I drink a lot of water. And I also make a lot of iced tea here in my motorhome. So I go through a lot of water, and I don't want to be lugging gallons of jugs in and out of the store every week. That can get to be too much, I think. So I'm good with drinking water from faucets, but like I said, I like it heavily filtered so that I have some confidence that it is pretty good drinking water. So let me show you this device I got to test how pure my water is. And it's called a Total Dissolved Solids Tester. I bought this off of Amazon, and I will put links in the description below as to where you can find them. And this is a hydrotester. And what it does is, like I said, test the purity of your water. So this is what it looks like. And when you turn it on, it will show 0 parts per million. So let's see how that changes when I test it on water. First, I'm going to use some distilled water, which is the purest water you can get. Going to pour it into this glass here, and it has 2 metal sensors in here. So you put it in the water, and then you'll see that 0 has now gone up to 3. You do have to give it like 2, 3, 4 seconds to register. Now it says 4. So now next I'm going to test spring water in this bottle of water I bought at the store. And that is on a scale of 0 to about 9,000. So let's see what this does. It shows 126 parts per million. And that parts per million is total dissolved solids. That's actually what it's measuring. So 126 on a scale of 0 to 9,000 is not bad at all. Now I'm going to take some water that comes from my water filtration system, going through 4 different filters. That sediment filter and 3 more filters that I have here inside my motorhome. So here we get 670. So that is not too bad compared to what it could be up into the thousands. So now I'm going to test the water that comes right out of my freshwater tank. And the water in my freshwater tank goes through 1 water filter, which is only a very basic sediment filter. So let's see what we get from the freshwater tank water. This is showing 693. So that's compared to the 126 of the bottled spring water, which is still not too bad compared to what it could be up to 9,000. Now I'm going to do one more test. This is water that I took right out of my gray tank. This is really filthy wastewater. So let's see what kind of reading we get here. So it is 1762, and it keeps slowly increasing as I leave it in here. So I'm not sure just how far it's going to eventually get or how long I should leave it, but as you can see, it just keeps getting worse, but very slowly. It's kind of settling 670 range. I mean 1770 something. I've waited about a minute now, and it's got up to 1782. I'm kind of surprised that's not a lot higher. Because I know the scale does go up to about 9,000 for the worst water there is. Now I'm really surprised that my filtered water is not any better than that. It could be because my filters are about 3 years old. I haven't changed them in those 3 years. I did try and change my water filters about a year ago, but they just seemed so clean that they didn't seem to need to be changed, so I didn't. So that tells me now that I better change those water filters anyway, even though it appears that they don't really need it. This is actually my first time testing various types of water, and I gotta say I'm a little surprised, or maybe a lot surprised, at the readings I got from the water other than the distilled and the spring water. So that gives me some things to think about in the water that I drink. So if you are concerned about the water that you drink, you might want to get one of these devices, which is called a Total Dissolved Solids Tester. Good day, folks.